Hello, today I'm going to explain how to calculate measures of central tendency. This will include mean, median, and mode. First, we'll talk about mean. Mean represents the average. This symbol, mu, represents the mean. This symbol, sigma, represents the sum of. X represents individual scores, and n is the number of scores in the distribution. So mean equals the sum of the individual scores divided by the number of scores in the distribution. In other words, to find the mean, add all the scores and divide by the total number of scores in the distribution. And next we're going to do an example. Here's an example of how to calculate mean based on a data set of final exam scores shown here. Find the mean of the scores. So the first step is to add up all of the scores that you have. So here we have added the scores and the result is 766. Step 2 is to divide all the scores by 9 because in this distribution there are 9 scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have added all these numbers and now we will divide by the total number, which is 9. So 766 divided by 9 is equal to 85.11, and that is the mean of this data set. The next measure of central tendency is the median. The median is also known as the middle score. A distribution must first be arranged from lowest to highest when you're calculating the median, or you can arrange it highest to lowest, either way. For the first example, we will use the same data set as before. Step 1, organize the scores from lowest to highest. So here you can see the scores have been rearranged, starting with the lowest score 55, going all the way up to the highest score of 100. Step 2, find the middle score. You can find the middle score by canceling out one number from each side. You can even take both of a finger from your left hand and your finger from your right hand and kind of cover each one on the ends until you reach the middle number. Another way to find the middle number is to count an even number on each side. So you can see there's 4 numbers to the right of the 90 and 4 numbers to the left of the 90, so you know that is the middle number. So 90 is the median. Now sometimes here you can see we had 9 scores in this distribution, but sometimes you will have an even number of scores in the distribution. When there's an even number of scores in the distribution, you will take the average of the 2 middle scores. So here is an example using ages of participants in a race. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scores here. So this is an example where we'll need to find the average of 2 middle scores because we have an even number of scores in the distribution. So the first step is to organize from lowest to highest like we did before. So here we have organized from lowest to highest, 13 all the way down to 74. Step 2 is to locate the 2 middle scores. Again, use a strategy of your choice and find the 2 middle scores. You can see there's 4 to the right, 4 to the left of these 2 middle scores. And then step 3 will be to find the average of these 2 middle scores. And as you remember before, to find the average, we add up the scores and then divide by the number of scores we have. So we'll be adding 27 plus 32, which equals 59. And then since there's just 2 scores, we'll divide 59 divided by 2, which equals 29.5. So the median for this data set is 29.5. And the next measure of central tendency is mode. Mode is the most frequently occurring score in a data set. It's the score that happens the most. So when I think of mode, I think most. Mode is the score that happens the most. So here is an example of finding the mode. This data set represents the number of hours students study each week in a course. Step 1 is to count up how many times each score occurs. So I've done this here with 11 just having one time, 10 hours occurring 1, 2, 3 times, 8 hours occurring 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Oops, I missed 9 hours. 9 hours is just 1 time. 7 hours is occurring 2 times. 1, 2. 6 hours is occurring 2 times. 1, 2. And 3 is occurring 1 time. And I've listed them here for you to see, but you don't have to list them. You can just look at the data set and count them up. So as you can see, 8 appears the most times. It appears 4 times in this data set. So the mode is equal to 8. Measures of central tendency help us to find the middleness of a data set. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.